Oh no. Aquarius has found an exploit that reveals which enemies are nearby, and it's already been seen and shared by thousands on Twitter. If you mute the enemy team and then start recording a demo, the mute will be disabled until the enemies are within rendering distance of you. So it's not so much a matter of how close they are to you, but more like, are they in the area that is being rendered from your location? Which is even more useful because it will cover all those bits just around the corners from where you're standing. In practice, I've actually found it very confusing. It definitely works, but the area rendered around you varies by so much that you'd have to practice certain spots, either in an offline server with map wireframe 3 on, or with friends if you want to try and understand which areas will trigger the mute to kick in again from where you're stood. However, even without specifics, it will serve as an early warning for terrorists as they're approaching a site as to how many and which enemies will be camping there, or possibly nearby and mid. And as CTs, if you're on Dust 2 and stood at the back of B and 4 enemies suddenly get muted, you can be pretty sure that a B rush is imminent. But you won't know where from specifically, because enemies will also be muted if they pass this corner in middle. So this does complicate matters for a CT stood at the back of B, who must determine which of these approaches the enemies are most likely to be attacking from. So this makes the exploit more serious the more organised and coordinated your team is. If you're at B site, and you know you've got a good teammate holding middle, who won't betray you and just let them run past and kill you from behind, then you'll know that the enemies will be somewhere close by in tunnel. So even if it is smoked up, you'll know that shooting through it stands a good chance of hitting somebody. Just bear in mind that once unmuted, an enemy won't mute themselves again. So you could easily fool yourself into thinking a load of enemies are heading your way when actually they merely pass through B tunnels before heading back to middle or even long A instead. And also remember that with the scoreboard up like this, it doesn't make it easy for you to actually play the game by aiming and shooting at people. So it's an awkward exploit to use, but definitely powerful and in serious need of remedying. Aquarius even found a way of resetting the mute by using the console command logaddress_add1. In theory, using this repeatedly could work like a radar, but it comes with a substantial freeze every time you use it, so it's not without its risks. And it does make it kind of obvious to other people that you're using this exploit. But yeah, it's a big exploit, and one of the most exciting things to have happened in a while. Valve, please fix.